Hello everyone, my name is Taser Nabayaw and now let's proceed to another topic, Lesson 4, Volume of a Cube and Rectangular Prism. But before that, here's our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to visualize the volume of cube and rectangular prism. Name the appropriate unit of measure used for measuring the volume of a cube and rectangular prism. Derive the formula in finding the volume of a cube and rectangular prism using cubic centimeter and cubic millimeter. Convert cubic centimeter to cubic millimeter and vice versa to cubic centimeter to liter and vice versa. Estimate the use appropriate units of measure for volume. Next, solve routine and non-routine problems involving volumes of a cube and rectangular prism in real-life situation using appropriate strategies and tools. Create problems with reasonable answers involving volume of a cube and rectangular prism in real-life situation using appropriate strategies and tools. The volume of a cube is calculated by cubing its length, width, and height. The formula is V equals S cube, where V is a volume, S is a side length. A cube has equal sides. Rectangular prism is calculated by multiplying its length, width, and height. The formula is V equals L times W equals H, where V represent volume, L represent length, W represent the width, and H represent the height. This formula essentially measures the amount of space a three-dimensional box occupies. Length is the longest side of the prism, width is the shortest side of the prism, and height the perpendicular distance between the top and bottom faces. Volume, the amount of space within the prism measured in cubic units, example, cubic inches or cubic centimeters. Let's proceed to our first activity. Find the area of rectangle using the following. To find the area of rectangle, you need to multiply the length sa width, and the formula will be A equals L W, or area equals length times width, which means A represent area, L for length, and W for width. Example, this rectangle. So what is the width of this rectangle? Okay, very good. It is 5 centimeter. Remember that the width is the shortest side of rectangle, okay? And what about its length? Okay, the length is the longest side of its measurement and it is 6 centimeter. To calculate or to know the area of rectangle, the formula is R equals L and W. So ipang substitute ra nato sila guys, then i-multiply ang 5 sa 6 and the answer will, you know how to get the area of rectangle? Now, I want you to answer these following, okay? Find the area of rectangle using the following. So same process ra gihapon siya guys. And I hope na tama mo ani. Okay. Okay, very good. Now let's move on to our next activity. Find the area of square if one side measures. Okay, guys, square is known as same side angle. So to find the area of square, the formula will be A equals A squared. A squared is same as A times A. For number 1, the one side measure is 5 centimeter. So it will be A equals 5 squared or 5 times 5. A equals 25 centimeter. Kaya i-multiply raman sa given value. So nasabtan ra guys. Kaya nasabtan man ninyo, I want you to answer the following. And mo na siya ang mga given number and I want you to answer this. Okay, so nara guys, mo na siya ang tamang answer. And mo po ni ang solution niya. Here are some example in order for us to understand more about our lesson. So nadri ang example guys. So mo na siya. I made an improvised pet cage for my pet cat by means of connecting two boxes. The first box is 10 meter long, 7 meter wide, and 5 meter high. The second box is 4 meter long, 10 meter wide, and 8 meter high. What would be the measure of the pet cage? How much space can it contain? So nagbuhat daw siya og kulungan siyang iring. Then mo ni ang mga measurement. Para sa unang box, mo ni Then para sa ikaduha nga box masab na. So atong pangitaan karon guys, unsa ang sukod sa iyang pet cage ug pila ang space. For this, we will use the formula of rectangular prism where V equals L, W, and H. First box, identify nato as ang length. Ang length kay, okay, very good. It is 10 meter. Ang width kay 7 and 5 ang height. Okay, lang atong gamit is ang rectangular prism na V equals L times W times height. Substitute nato ang length, we have 10 times 7 times 5. Then, unahon natin ang equals 70 na siya times 5 equals 350 meter. So, same process ra sa ikaduha na box, guys. V equals 4 meter times 10 meter times 8 meter. So, unahon nato ang 4 times 10 equals 40 times 8 equals 320 meter. And then, I think it is enough for sa iring, enough na sa iring, guys, para makasulod siya and dili siya maipit sa pet cage. So nasabtan na guys. Okay, kay nasabtan mo ninyo, I will ask you some question again, okay? How will you express the volume of a cube from centimeter to liters? Okay, you need to convert the volume of a cube from cubic centimeters to liters. You can use the following conversion. 1 liter equals 1,000 cubic centimeter. So, to convert a volume from cubic centimeter to liters, divide the value in cubic centimeters by 1,000. Example, if the volume of a cube is 5,000 cubic centimeter, the equivalent volume in liters would be, ato siyang i-divide guys. So, 5,000 cubic centimeters divide 1,000 equals 5 liters. So, always remember guys, na ang 1,000 centimeter ka-equivalent niya to 1 liter. Okay, for the second question, how do you get the volume of rectangular prism or a cube? So, using this formula guys. So, muna siya ang rectangular prism. Formula niya kay V equals length times width times height, where V is volume, L is length, W is width, and height. H for height. Okay. So, next is, ang cube guys is volume equals V equals S cube, where V volume, S is a side length. Okay. For the next question, what is the difference between area and volume? So, kung ngayon tag-area, it is length times width ra. Volume, while volume, length times width times height. Okay, area and volume are two different measurements. When you say area, ang measure niya measures the side of a 2D surface. Example, square, rectangle, or circle. Typically measured in square units. Example, centimeter and meter or feet. So, next is ang volume is measures the amount of space inside a 3D object. Example, a cube, sphere, or cylinder. Typically measured in cubic units. In short, area is about surface size. Always remember that. Okay, while volume is about the space inside an object. For the last activity, so muna siya ang last activity na guys. I want you to answer this one. Solve the problems using the 4-step process. Okay, problem number 1. A box has a volume of 80 centimeter cube, a length of 4 centimeter, and a width of 10 centimeter. What is the height of the box? So, pangitaon na to ang height sa box. So, the formula will be H equals volume divide length times width. So, i-substitute ra nato siya guys. H kay height man ang atong gipangita. So, ipang-substitute ra nato ang given na mga length, width, and so on. So, H equals 80 centimeter cube divide 4. So, inganaan na siya pag-substitute guys. Unahon sa nato ang sulod sa parenthesis guys. I-multiply ra nato na and it will be mo na siya ang result. Then i-divide nato na sila sa divide nato ang 80 divide 40. So, 2 centimeter ang answer. For the second question, same process lang siya guys. Ma-reconstruct a rectangular box having a volume of 1,200 cubic centimeters. If the length of the box is 15 centimeter and the width is 8 centimeter, what is the measure of its height? So, for the second problem, guys, same process lang gihapon ang atong buhaton. We will substitute all the given measurement nga gihatag and then makuha na dahil nato ang tamang answer. Basta i-follow lang nato ang formula. Okay? What if kay ang length ang gipangita? What if kay width? Okay. So, good question. So, i-change na nato ang formula based yang kung saan gipangita. Okay, if length ang need, then we will use this one. Okay, for width na pod, we will also use this one. We're done in our lesson, guys. Thank you everyone for listening.